Hello students, today I am discussing the board specimen paper for this year uh, for your AI exam. So this paper is divided into two parts. So in this video I am going to discuss the section A part. But before I discuss this part, I want you to know what is the structure of the paper. So if you look at the paper structure, so basically you will have 21 questions are there in section A and section B. So in section A, you have objective questions are there, and in section B, subjective questions are there. So out of the given 5 plus 16 means 21 question you have to do. A candidate has to answer 5 plus 10, 15 questions in the allotted time of 2 hours. So the time for this exam will be 2 hours and the maximum marks will be 15. And it is also suggested that you should attempt the questions in the correct order, right? So if you do not know, so you leave the space and you can go for the next one. Next thing is the section A. Now section A is objective questions. यहाँ पे आपको 24 marks का पेपर होगा ये this part will be, and here the section has 5 questions, and there is no negative marks, uh, and for each of the 5 questions there are subparts are there, and you need to do as per the instruction. Do not expect all questions are like MCQ type, 4 options will be there. In some cases, might be filling the blanks is possible. So it depends. Okay. So we will discuss this paper first here, one by one, the questions which are there in the section. So section A has 16 questions and candidate has to do 10 questions and do as per the instruction. Now let's see. In section B has 26 questions. There you have 10 questions. So let's start the section A, objective type questions. Now, in section A, the question number 1 is saying about someone, Mr. Gulati, is having a small shop, and with his focus and dedication, he has made this as one of the popular brands in India. Okay, so उनका छोटा दुकान था, तो उन्होंने इसको एक बहुत बड़े दुकान में बना दिया. So even a popular brand. Okay, so MDH is also one of the popular brands. So it starts with a very small business and it grows into a very big brand. So what is which self-management skill is clearly visible in the given statement? See, for something to grow and flourish, it's okay. But something to become very big, you need a constant dedication and uh, hard work from from that person. So in this case, the motivation is not external, but it is the internal motivation. So here the uh, motivation is the skill which is there is the self motivation, because self motivation will help the individuals to stay determined, overcome challenges, and work towards their goals without any external pressure. So if you have the self motivation to for scoring high marks, so you will be study on your own without any kind of external pressure. You will on your own try your level best. Now the next question is, when you put a bring a mouse over a file in a file explorer, it will show the details of the file. What is this concept known as? See, normally, if you bring your mouse over any kind of a hyperlink, it also shows the hyperlink also. In many places, in many contents, especially those hyperlink, it shows in those files. If you place your cursor over it, so it gives tells you some of the properties of the file. And this concept, this particular activity is known as hover. So hover is when you move your mouse pointer over a file in a file explorer without clicking. So we call it a small tooltip. Okay, tooltip. So small tooltip is basically telling you about the size type of the file. Now, a doctor works for a renowned hospital. The third part of this question, and the statement is in an example of wage employment. Now here, both A and R are correct. Both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation. R is correct, but A is correct, but R is not correct, and A is not correct, but R is correct. Now, basically, this thing is very simple. Doctor works in a renowned hospital, so obviously it is an example of wage employment, right? So we can say both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So I think this is very much clear. No discussion is required. And wage employment is that kind of employment where the person is working under someone and getting a fixed salary or wages. Next is the work, the dash. The work is all about identifying, routing, how we spend our time, analyzing to spend our time effectively. Okay. So uh, this is about a question from the time management. So in the time management, basically there are four things are there. Organizing means you need to plan the all the activity which you need to do. Then you have to prioritize which one you want to do first, which one is like more important. Then controlling. Controlling is basically to see whether those activities you are doing it or not. And tracking is ultimately you have to see how much time you have spent. So here it is about how we spent our time is the key thing. So ट्रैकिंग इज बेसिकली आप ट्रैक कर रहे हैं कि आपने कितना अपना टाइम उस पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी के लिए दिया. ठीक है. तो दिस इज ट्रैकिंग. So tracking involves identifying, recording, analyzing how time is spent to improve time management. Okay, so I think this is clear what is tracking. Now, before we discuss any further, for this exam, it's very important. See, you must be aware now this AI is considered to be one of the subjects for the best five. So scoring here good marks is a very important. So you need to practice MCQs and type of questions which are there for the board exam. So obviously, I'm providing here all the theory which is there, but it's very important that you practice those type of questions so that you can have a better idea. So you can go for this particular link which I have given, and there in this I have gone through this particular content. Okay, so in this content, I have kept all sorts of important questions, okay, objective type of questions, especially the MCQs. You have the first, I think, 24 marks are MCQs only. So your all types of MCQs are given for each of the chapters, so that आप जब MCQs को करेंगे, multiple choice question, or different forms of questions are there. So it will give you a clear idea, right? So let's move further for the next slide. Now, the next one is Ramya traveled to Sweden from India to pursue her higher education, but she doesn't know how to speak Swedish language. Because of this, she was unable to find a part-time job. This is an example of, see here, basically interpersonal barrier, physical barrier, organizational barrier, linguistic barrier. So what kind of barrier it is there? It is because it's very simple. It is the language. Because of the language, she was not able to get the job. So it is the linguistic barrier. Okay. So linguistic barrier is basically when a person will have a difficulty in communication because of the language. So she was unable to speak Swedish language directly. So that is why she can't secure a job. Now we also need to okay. So this is the correct answer. The next one is the efforts are made to increase the solar power generation so that our electricity needs are met, and at the same time we do not pollute environment or use of natural resources. So which SDG can relate this statement? So if you read it very carefully, it is about increase the solar power generation. So we are trying to use a safe source of energy. So obviously it is not life on earth, clean water. It is affordable and clean energy. Okay, so basically solar energy is a one which is not very expensive, and it also provide a clean energy because it does not give ready residual based material like other energy sources are there, right? So and reducing inequality doesn't make sense here. So the correct answer will be affordable and clean energy. Now, which one is this? This is the SDG 7. So, where the goal is to access affordable, reliable, sustainable, modern energy for all. The statement directly mentions increasing solar power generation, which is a key component of clean energy. Okay, now assertion. One can be a good singer while other can be a great athlete. This is assertion. Reason is that the human possess different types of intelligence, but at different levels. Yes. Yeah, this is quite possible. One can be a singer, one can be athlete, but and people are having different levels of intelligence. So this is true. Even we cannot compare sometimes because their intelligence are different for a like you one who's a good singer you cannot compare the singer with the athlete. Okay, there are two different forms of intelligence. So here both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation, right? So this can be the A1 is there. So I think when this kind of human intelligence is there, we call it a musical intelligence, and where this athletic is there, which is a bodily kinesthetic intelligence, right? So whenever bodily kinesthetic and intelligence, these people are using their body for doing different kind of tasks, especially the athletes are there, sportsmen are there. Okay, so this is the type of intelligence. Next is question number two, part two is saying that the Indian government banned few apps stating server in the hostile nation are receiving and using acquired data improperly. Yeah. So a few of the government, like other countries which are there. So if you are using countries or the other countries' apps, so chances are there because mostly your data is there in store in their server, whether it's a Facebook, whether it's a WhatsApp, all the data is stored somewhere in some foreign country. There it is there, and we trust them. They are not misusing the data. So basically, what kind of terminology suits for this action? The government has not allowed means ban those apps where the data is stored in the some different country. So it is the data privacy because the AI ethics, AI bias, and AI access are different things. But data privacy is the thing where we want our data to be protected and remain private. So Indian government banned these certain apps because there are concerns that data being collected, stored, and potentially misaligned. Okay, so this is the answer. Now the next one is there are four layers of neural network, and the first layer of the neural network is known as the output layer. Now see, firstly there are not four, there are three layers are there, and first layer is known as the input layer, right? So both the statement one. Now here one thing you need to note is that the options which are given, both statement one and two are correct, both statement one and two are incorrect. So from the previous one, it is different, right? So you have to see which one is the. So here both are incorrect, and the reason is this because it has three layers. First layer is the input layer which receives the raw data. Okay, so you it is like just like you give some input to a machine. Hidden layers are those machine learning algorithms which process that particular information. All right. So these algorithms are there, and output layers finally produces the final result or prediction, right? So this is the one. Okay. I hope this is clear to you that these three layers, there are many times they ask about these three layers. Next thing is the uh, in this diagram, the one side is the data size, one side is the model performance. So dash the neural network better is the performance. So which neural network is the better performance? So it is very simple from this large, the neural network. Large means what? Large means huge amount of data. See, neural networks work with the help of data. So if I do not give you any exact information about anything, but if you are getting a lot of data, so from lot of data, you can understand some kind of patterns which are there in that data. So this is the case of the neural network. So large neural network or the deeper neural network means they have more data and they can process it and they give you more information. Cache is a simple file format that stores data separated by commas. So what is the format for storing the data by commas? See, JPG, PNG are image files. Your doc is a older version of Word file, and CSV is the one which is basically storing the data by commas. Okay. Next is the okay. Now, full form of CSV is comma separated files, and it is a very common simple way of storing the data. And what is it's there? It is like you can use to open this kind of files from Excel also. Now, you have a corpus which contains four document words in which the word diet appearing once in document. So identify the term which we can categorize the word diet. So now see, there are four documents and it is appearing once only. So obviously this word is not the word which is frequently appearing. There is no removable word. So this is the rare word. Stop words are those words which are redundant. Okay, means if you remove like the boy is going, the boy is playing, so the is not required always. So you can. So, but it is in this case the word diet is a rare. Okay. So rare word which appears infrequently. Stop words are common words which are like the, is, and okay, which you can remove. Okay, frequent word like which appears multiple times. Now, question number three, part one. Read the example given below using Chat GPT to write an email. Okay, so unlock technology. आप जिससे face से अपना mobile you can open it. Turning off the light by IoT device nowadays. Alexa and many devices are there. You can speak. They can turn and on and off the device light. And hand sanitizer are dispensers having sensor. Okay, so the you put your hand under the sanitizer and it automatically dispenser and it automatically that hand sanitizer comes down. So which one is the not here AI? For see, AI is a technology like where the machine is not always working in the same manner as earlier. With the more amount of data, it will work differently. So here, Chat GPT, it's more the information you provide. So they are basically using, and they are using behind the scene technologies like AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Face unlock is also a AI technology, but turning off and on the light can is a basically just a you can say using the machine you are doing this thing, but it is also it's not a kind of a we can say AI based technology. Hand sanitizer is obviously again is not a AI based. It's a very common manual rather we say. So if looking at this one, we can say answer number three and four are correct in this category. They are not AI. Okay. So Internet of Things IoT is basically automates the task. It does not make necessarily involve AI. Okay. So if in some machine Alexa is there, so maybe it is programmed to do only a certain thing, right? And hence sanitizers are based on motion sensors, are not AI based. Now, dash refer to the type of features that we want to collect. Okay, now what are the features in any particular system? Basically, data features. Data features like in a data, we want some certain characteristics or attributes. Okay, for example, the student teacher has to get some data which is for the scoring the to know the marks and the attendance. So he is going to store the name, marks, attendance. So these are the features of that particular data. So data features will be depending on what kind of information we need to collect. Now, which of the following is an application of data science? Now, here text summarization, target, advertisement, face log in smartphones, and email filter. Now, see, if you look at this text summarization, you are making a summary of the text. So, obviously, it is a NLP. uh, Target advertisement where you are targeting person with a certain advertisement. So it is the one, is it an NLP or is it data? Face log, you have no doubt because face log is the one which is using CV or computer vision. Email filters is again a one which is like a, it is filters the email based on the certain text. So it is also NLP. So target advertisements, okay, is the answer. Now target advertisement, why? Because it uses the data science, user behavior, preference, and history. So based on it, it is using we can say the correct answer is targeted. Dash is the process of finding instances of real world objects in images or videos. So we have instance segmentation, object detection, classification, and image segmentation. So what will be the answer? Now in this case, see, classification first I explain you like classification will classify the entire image into a particular type. So like if the animal is there, so it's an animal image or a flower image like this. Uh, Object detection is basically to detect a particular type of objects in this. Okay. Okay. So here in object detection, whatever mostly in cameras when a human being is there, so a square boundary or a rectangle around that particular face, it comes, right? So this is object detection. So here it is saying finding the instances of real world in this and instance segmentation and image segmentation. These are not the correct answers here. Instance segmentation is basically the it in an image if multiple images are of same type is there. So how to find them? Okay, so this comes under the image segmentation. So here the correct answer is object detection. Okay, so basically we need to know what is object detection. Object detection is the process of identifying and locating the real world object in images, and it only recognizes the object but also determines their positions using bounding boxes, right? So this is object detection. Instant segmentation is basically identify the segments or individual objects, but is more detailed than object classification. And classification, we have said the entire image is put into one category. And image segmentation is dividing the image into different regions. So, but it does not again like identify the specific object. And now question number 3, part 5. Identify the given chatbot. It learns from its environment and experience. It also builds on its capabilities based on the knowledge. This can collaborate with humans working alongside them and learning from their behavior. Now, this is a kind of chatbot which learns from the environment and experience. So, I think we do not need to read even any further because it is not based on some kind of a uh, like a fixed kind of a guide, like a algorithm is. So with the more data you provide, it works better. So basically, this kind of a chatbot we call as a smart. Okay. So a smart bot is a AI powered chatbot that learns from its environment and past experiences. It uses machine learning, natural language processing to improve its interaction. Now, what is F1 score? F1 score is basically is the balance between the, we call it the harmonic mean between the precision and recall, right? So option B is the answer here in this. So harmonic mean is there. So it is used to like precision is basically telling how many predicted positives were correct. Like, so out of all the positive, how many positives were correct? And recall basically tells how many actual positives were correctly predicted, right? So here we need to know how many actual positives were correctly predicted. Srishti learned about question number 4, part 1, saying Srishti learned about AI technology but was not able to recollect the term that is used to refer to machines that perform tasks with a vast amount of data using neural network help her with the correct term. Now you see, whenever a neural network term comes, you should think it is about deep learning because deep learning and is basically associated with neural network, right? So deep learning referred to a machine that perform tasks using vast amount of data and neural network, and it is a subset of machine learning. So examples include speech recognition, image classification, autonomous driving, etc. Right? Okay. The statement, fourth one is statement, the output given by the AI model is known as reality, and real scenario is prediction. So, see, output given by AI model is not known as reality, but it is the prediction, and the real scenario is known as the reality. So, here both the statements are incorrect. So, the statement one is incorrect because what we call is the prediction is the output given by AI. So, it is not real. And the real scenario is known as reality, not predictions. Now, next one is saying Rajat has made a model which predicts the performance of Indian cricket players in upcoming matches. So he collected data of players like performance with respect to stadium, bowlers, opponent team, and health. So his model works with good accuracy and precision value. Which of the statement below is incorrect? Now, there are statements which are incorrect. Data gathered with respect to stadium, bowlers, opponent team, and health is known as testing data. So the data which he has collected is known as the testing data. Data given to the AI model to check accuracy and precision is testing data. This is okay. This is correct. Training data and testing data required in the data acquisition stage. Yes, this is true because see, you take the entire data at the data acquisition stage and you take 80% of the data for training and 20% for testing. Training data is always larger. As I said, it's 80%, so it's larger. So the first one is incorrect because the data which is taken for the purpose of like the initial data which we've taken, we do not call this data as a testing data. So option A is incorrect data. Okay, because so in from exam point of view, you need to understand two important terms: what is training data and what is testing data. So the data basically, which is we need to train the machine. Okay, so that it can learn. Basically, at this stage, we tell the machine how to predict. So this is known as the training data. And testing data is basically that part of the data which is unseen by the machine. Now, based on the training, from the training, whatever it has understood, whatever he has got the understanding, now it can use that for the testing of the data, right? So this is the correct one. Now, how many channels does a color image have? So color image is having only three channels, right? You know, RGB, red, green, blue. Okay. So what this basically, each channel is representing the intensity of one of that color. And combining these three colors will give you the image. Okay. So this is a very important thing. Which feature of NLP helps in understanding emotions of the people? Now, emotion, the word comes, so you do not need to see any further. It is sentiment. Sentiment analysis is the one where we basically NLP is reading the emotion. Now, this emotion can be either positive, negative, or neutral. Okay. So, depending on like lots of messages which are there on the X or in the Facebook and all this. So, machine keep on learning and see what kind of emotion or opinions from those texts. Uh, Virtual assistants. Okay, now here, what are virtual assistants? So, you know, it's basically NLP part, but it has nothing to do with the sentiments. Text classification also classify the text, and automatic summarization is also basically making the text, it makes the text concise, longer text into smaller text, okay, without changing the meaning. Okay. Now, Sarthak made a face mask detector system for which he had collected the dataset and used all the dataset to train the model. Then he used the same data to evaluate the model, resulted in correct answer all the time, but was not able to perform with unknown dataset. Name the cause. Now, if you use the same dataset for the purpose of training and testing, so what will happen? Machine will only know about the knows about the correct data set or the same data set. So it has no knowledge about the unknown data set. So this concept is known as overfitting. So overfitting, what happens? Machine learns the training data too well, even capture the noise and pattern, and does not generalize to new unseen data. So he used the same data set for both training and evaluation, which means the model was not tested on new unseen data. Okay. So, like in exam, the same type of questions are coming which you are taught in class. So, this might, maybe it is okay for that particular class, but if you are going for some other activity where this kind of questions or a board exam is there, so there if the unknown questions will be there, so you will not able to answer. Now, Aditi, a student of class 12, developed a chatbot that clarifies doubts of economics students. Yes, she trained a software with lots of data set, catering all difficulty level. If any student would type or ask a question related to economics, the software would give an instant reply. Identify the domain of it. ठीक है, यहाँ पे बेसिकली क्या है, उन्होंने सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है जिसको कोई भी स्टूडेंट कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछता है तो वो आंसर दे दे. तो ऑब्वियसली इट इज नॉट अ कंप्यूटर विजन. Okay, and data science, it is not making any prediction. It is just basically question and answer. So here the answer will be natural language processing. Because in natural language processing, it is just simply asking the question and based on the question, and it is going to give the answer. Which evaluation parameter takes into consideration all correct predictions? So all correct predictions are taken into care in case of accuracy. So in accuracy is like your exam where we only count all the correct answers. So upon the total attempted, which include incorrect or correct all. So here the answer will be accuracy. So accuracy, why? Because it will consider only the true positive and true negative. So true negative is what? Answer is still positive. It means a machine is saying no and actually also no. So that means it is a correct answer. So here it compares to the total number of predictions made. Okay. So this is a formula for accuracy: true positive plus true negative upon true positive plus true negative, false positive plus false negative. So precision is basically focuses on positive predictions. So how many positive predictions machine has said how many times saying yes. Recall is basically how many actual positive predictions. Because now true positive is okay. Machine is saying true and actually it is true. True, a false negative is a situation basically machine is saying no, but it is actually true. So out of the two actual correct positive, how many are correctly predicted? F1 score is basically a balance between the recall and the precision. Now dash means a picture element which is the smallest unit of information that makes up a picture. So you know the picture element, the word means it is a pixel. Okay, pixel is the word which is used for each of the picture element. So it is the smallest unit and this pixel contains the color and brightness information, right? You know, what do you mean by the syntax of a language? Syntax is basically the meaning. No, it's not a meaning. Grammatical structure, yes. We can say it's a grammatical structure. Semantics, again, semantics is related to meanings, where syntax is not. Syntax is the way to write that particular sentence, right? And synonyms of a sentence, this is not. So the correct answer is the grammatical structure of a sentence. Syntax refers to the rules and structure of language. It defines how word symbols should be arranged to form valid sentences. So rest meaning of sentences, semantics, synonyms of sentences, these are incorrect. Now, which algorithm results in two things, a vocabulary of word and frequency of the words in the corpus? So two things you are getting is the vocabulary of words, second is the frequency of the word. So obviously here this algorithm is known as the bag of words. In bag of words, basically you are doing two things. You are getting a list of unique words in the corpus and the frequency of those. Okay, so BOW is the text processing technique for natural language. Vocabulary word, a list of unique words, word frequency, count of occurrence of the word, and basically it does not consider the grammar and order of the word, but focus on the word occurrence. Which one of the following scenario result in high false positive cost? False positive means machine is saying yes, but actually it is no. It is not the real situation. For example, viral out. मशीन ने कह दिया कि वायरल आउटब्रेक हो गया, like a COVID like situation is there, but actually it is not. So is it going to be a very high cost? No, until see you may know it very easily if people are not suffering, so it is not going to. And so even machine is saying it doesn't make sense. Forest fire. So actual fire is not there, but machine is saying yes. So maybe there might be some panic will be there, but ultimately it is people will be will thank God that there is no forest fire. Okay, so it is not of a very heavy cost. Flood is also like it's very easy to understand. Even machine is saying there is a flood, but if it is not there, obviously it is not a issue. Spam filter is the one where if machine takes tells a particular email as spam, and but it is actually a very important email which has come from some institute for your admission. So it is a very serious heavy cost will be there if it doesn't come to your notice. All right. So this thing is a very high positive cost is there, which so we can consider spam filter, right? Okay. So here we have come to the end of this particular specimen papers section A part. So I am going to discuss the section B part in the next video. So in the meantime, you please keep practicing the important topics of your AI exam so that you can score good marks in your exam. So see you in the next video. For complete video and quick revision course on class 10 AI board exams, you can visit this link which is given here on the screen. Here you will get all the MCQs, PYQs, PDFs, sample papers, and this course is just at the rate of 299. So this is the best way for preparing for your board exams and for scoring excellent marks in your board exams. So best of luck for your upcoming exam. Thank you.